Hello, everybody. So sometimes I will not be able to be at school, but we have to keep moving forward with our learning, so there will be a video lecture. That's what we're going to be doing today. The video lectures are pretty much the same as when I'm standing in front of the classroom talking, so I still expect you to take notes, and there may even be times where you have to turn and talk to your shoulder partner. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And the first thing we're going to do is take care of our focus questions. First focus question is, what are some of the characteristics of a civilization? There are 5 characteristics of a civilization, and you should have read about those on page 11 in your textbook. I'm just going to make a list here. Later on, we'll be going through all of them individually. So we have organized cities and government, social classes, job specialization, arts, science, and written languages, and religion. So those are the 5 features of a civilization. And like I said, we'll go over those a little bit more in detail. Number 2, why do religions exist worldwide? Religions exist because God built the knowledge of his existence into the hearts of his creation, his people. He can be seen in the natural world that he created. And basically, everyone has a desire to worship something. So if they don't worship the true God, then they're going to create a religion or create something else to worship themselves. All right, we should be on page 10 in our textbooks. And you already read it because you have already done your Cornell notes. And our first question is going to be, how did God create most of the world? God created most of the world by speaking it into existence. However, he chose a different way to create man than any of the other creations. And God actually used his hands to form mankind. He created us in his own image, and he made us special and different than all the other creatures. In what ways are we like God? Like God, we can think, love, use language, know right and wrong, and enjoy relationships. So all of these are different reasons or different ways that we are like God. Now on page 10, there is a black and white photograph. Please make sure you make note of that black and white photograph and who is pictured in that photo. Page 10, black and white photo, who is in the picture? I'll say it one more time. Page 10, black and white photograph, who is in it? All right, so this is the heading, and I want you to go ahead and take a moment, write down the heading on your paper. And in the beginning, what was there? In the beginning, there was God. So before creation, God existed. Before creation, God existed. Before creation, there was God. And that's about it. So think about it. What didn't exist? We didn't have animals. We didn't have the earth. We didn't have people. We didn't have stars, the sun, the moon, water, air. All of these things didn't exist before creation. How did God make man? God made man in his own image. The Bible tells us this, and you know it because you've heard it many, many times. God gave man a special job. God gave man the creation mandate, and with the creation mandate, we are to fill the earth and subdue it and have dominion over everything. Also, God gave man work. God created work. It's not a bad thing. It's something that God created. God didn't want us just sitting around doing nothing. He wants us to do work. So why was man created? Man was created to have dominion over the earth. Man was created to have dominion over the earth. You and I, man, were created to have dominion over the earth. So what does dominion mean? Dominion means the authority to rule. Dominion means authority to rule. Dominion, authority to rule. All right, the last thing we're going to do as part of this lecture is I am going to have you talk to your shoulder partner. You're going to turn to your shoulder partner and you are going to talk about what are some ways that people carry out God's command to subdue the earth. What are some ways that God's people carry out His command to subdue the earth? Go.